Welcome to the Gold Report. One set of facts, true today, true tomorrow. Please share and subscribe so you never miss an episode. I'm delighted to introduce you today to a friend of mine, a founding member of America's Frontline Doctors. Dr. Jeff Barke has over 25 years as a board-certified primary care physician. He's known for his extensive medical experience and his roles as an educator, author, and public speaker. He's made vast contributions in the healthcare education space, and his involvement with the America's Frontline Doctors organization. I just want to say that he was one of the very first doctors to speak out even before America's Frontline Doctors became well known. Back in perhaps March or April of 2020, he was out there speaking out what he knew. He recently authored a book entitled Morning Message, Dispelling the Myths You've Been Told About Optimal Health. I'm excited to welcome to the show, Dr. Jeff Barke.
Simone, great to be with you.
I was just saying right before we began that this is really how it all started, right?
Yeah. Early on the pandemic, I started doing Facebook Lives just for fun to bring people up to speed as to what was going on in the state of affairs of COVID. And I remember we had recently met and I had you on one of the very first Facebook Lives that I did. And that really kind of started us down this crazy path of apparently being physician warriors and leaders in this fight.
So I want to shed some light for people who often ask me, did you know you do this? Are you surprised when you look back on your life? Here we are, two physicians, and we end up kind of walking a similar path. And I'm kind of interested in exploring what made us different than most of our peers. Obviously, it's not just us. There are many, many of us, but we are a minority still amongst the profession and people in general. So are you surprised yourself that both at your own activism within the medical freedom movement and also the lack of activism or righteousness amongst most doctors, are you kind of surprised about either of those things?
That's a great question. Yes and yes. I never sought to be some activist. It's not who I am. But I was invited early in the pandemic to a rally out in Riverside. Riverside is inland to where I live in coastal Orange County. Normally it's like an hour and a half drive. And I got invited out there because the Riverside Board of Supervisors was meeting to decide whether or not to open up Riverside County. This is when everything was closed. So I went out there and spoke for a few minutes. It wasn't a big deal. And then I posted that video on Facebook as a way for my kids to be able to see it because they live cross country. And within a few minutes, I was getting literally contacted from around the world, media outlets and physicians and so forth. And I didn't think I said anything that remarkable. Looking back, what I said is I had a copy of the Constitution that I always carry around with me. And I said something like, and it's not even my line, I stole it from somebody. I don't know who, maybe it was you, but I held up the Constitution and I said, this document was never designed to restrict we the people. It was designed to restrict the government. And I guess that resonated with people. And then all of a sudden I started speaking out. And then, along came this dynamic physician woman named Simone Gold. And this organization, America's Frontline Doctors, came to be. And next thing you know, we're in Washington, D.C. on the Supreme Court steps. And that really, you created the beginning of this cancel culture. We weren't canceled before then, but when that video went viral on the Supreme Court steps, that's when everybody started to cancel us, because for the first time, there was a group of professionals that were speaking out and saying, hey, hang on a second, something isn't right here. You're not being given the truth, and we're here to speak the truth. We may be wrong, but we're going to tell you what we believe. And everybody and their mother banned us and canceled us, YouTube and Facebook and so forth. That was the beginning of the medical cancel culture. And then the rest was history. And so, no, I never wanted to be some activist, but I was thrust into this role. I had a brave leader named Dr. Gold who said, no, we need to do this. And I kept doing this to great pain, personal pain. I had physicians, and I have physicians that no longer talk to me because they think I'm crazy for speaking out. I had patients that left my practice because they didn't like my politics and my beliefs.
To watch today's full episode, visit thegoldreport.com.